Um, Actually, welcome to the. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I read it for you. Prescription. The transcription of the listening time episode 224. This prescription. Uh, this is a narrated by Connor. Uh, so let's go. Transcription listening time episode 224. Welcome to the listening time podcast. Hey everybody, this is Connor, and you are listening to episode 224, 204 of the Listening Time podcast. I hope you are doing well and that you ready to practice your English listening comprehension with another episode. And in today's episode, I go to talk about having young kids, having young children. At the time of record this, I have a couple young children. Maybe will listen to this year in the future and at the point. I will also have old children, but coming with have young kids. I'd like to talk about two things in today's episode. Of course, of course there are difficulties, there are challenges, there are plenty of things they are hard about having young children. I don't need to tell you that, but that's not the focus on this episode. I want to focus on the positives. And I know that not everyone has a great situation with their young children. You might have some difficult circumstances. I get it. I'm not trying to say that everyone has a super great relationship or situation when it comes to their young children. But I just want to talk about my situation, I'm sure some of you can relate to some of these things that I'm going to talk about today. So I'm sure you find this episode interesting. And before we start, I want to remind you that you should use my advanced podcast episode to start getting accustomed to real English spoken fast. In this normal episode, I am speaking very slowly and clear. It's got I'm speaking very slowly and clearly. It's good practice for you, but eventually you need to start listening to things at normal speed. Listen to real English. So that's why I have my diverse episodes available for you if you become a listening time family member. So that link to sign up is down below. And also check out my US Conversation podcast so you can practice with my conversation with an other native speaker from around the country. You will able to be eventually will need to able to understand when two people are talking and My US Conversations podcast will help you become more accustomed to that. So that links also down below. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's talk about some of the really great things about having young children. So the first thing I want to mention is that the love that you feel at home is multiplied because there are more people to show you love through the dead. Through, through they. Uh, the kids, especially young kids, really love the parents. In general, if you are the same parents, of course. But I have found that young children love to show affection to their parents and love to show you that they care about you as they like you. You are not you are one of the favorite people, you are maybe you're the favorite person. These are something that like kids are at, great even before they learn how to talk, how. I have only daughter who, at the time of records, does not talk. She's still very young, but she's very good and showing her love for you. I'm talking about me and my wife. She is shy around a lot of other people, but she loves me and my wife. She loves to show this. Same thing for my son. He's a little older and he can't talk, so it's a little different, but it's still young kids really help you feel loved as a parent. This is great. This is great. And when I first sing in the morning, it's always smile and hugs and excitement. It's something that I always look forward to in the morning. I love saying good morning to my family when they wake up. Today, I haven't done so yet. I work in the morning and I haven't seen the yet. And right now, I work forward to saying good morning to my kids and, of course, my wife. So, kids are great at making you feel loved and they often show affection. Maybe physical contact, they show they love you, especially my daughter. She always wants to give me hugs in the morning and the evening, and she wants to be in my arm and on my lap. She loves uh, phys- physical affection. Sometimes she'll just wake up to me with her arms spread out wide, which is very a way of saying I want to be in our arms. I want affection is really nice. It's something that makes you feel courage about and love as a parent. So you kids are great at this. And one kids often think that the parents are the greatest. My son really admires me. He makes me feel like a hero. He makes me feel like a really important person. This can be a little bit concerning at times because I know I'm not the greatest person. I'm not the greatest person. And I know that my son is not seeing some of things that I do or say that. I shouldn't, and so I have to be careful and make sure my good is really model for him because he admires me so much. So I need to be careful. But overall, when your kids make you feel admired, it's great. You feel that love that they have it for you. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is the happiness, joy, and a lot of that feel of house when you have young children. Again, there is a people with situations that are different and it's not always like this. I understand. I'm just talking about my experience. So my kids are constantly excited. They are one always exciting. It's really amazing how much of they there can be enthusiastic and excited. I constantly hear the launching and shooting. There is a lot of shooting and I just see the running around hands and just seeing them running around and having fun all the time. So this help you and parents feel happy and in a better mood. When I hear my kids laughing, this make me smile and on kids like kids who are my song age want to play all day. They want to play, play, play. And of course, they laugh and smile which they play. And so, a lot of this activity and excitement and play and laughing and shooting just bring a lot of joy to environment. This is something that kids of lifts the mood at home. What I mean by that is that make everyone feel happy and put everyone in a better mood because there is so much warmth around you. It's a kind of hard to be negative in the environment, right? Sometimes I'm not in the best mood, and my kids turn around and had experience recently where I where where uh where I was nodding a good stamina match, and then my son was able to immediately turn my dad around and make me feel so much happy and more thankful. Young kids have the ability because they bring so much joy to your life. Another thing that I want to mention is that that's really cool to watch young children develop. It's really exciting as a parent, specifically your first kids. It's like it's like, oh, now they are doing this, now they are doing that. So, for example, the first time your kids rolls over, mean the mean the roll from their stomach to the back of their back to their stomach. There's exciting. This is really too cool to see myself set up the first time on the. I'm sorry. Uh, then exciting. It's really cool to see the site up to the first time on the door without needing your help. And then, of course, when they start running, this is a big one. Crawling refers to the action that babies to do start to move around. One minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Are you I will note the word that I don't know. I will notes. I will notes. Eu irei escrever palavras, eu irei anotar palavras que eu não conheço. I will notes. Acho que tá certo, né? I will notes. 1 minute. Está certo. I will notes. I will notes. Words that I know. Yeah, fala isso. I will know words that I don't know. Write down words. Write down. É. ChatGPT falou para escrever I will write down what that I don't know. Tá, peraí. Crawling, lembra a palavra que é crawling? Unlimited, crawling. Time, there's a big one, crawling. Refers to the action that baby to do start to move around on their hands and kick this. Então, isso aqui basicamente significa quando a criança começa a engatear, né? The action that babies to do start to move around of their hands and knees. Knees é joelho, né? Knees. 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 Um, yeah. Hands and knees. So, so, uh, when they start crawling, this is super exciting, and of course you have got to be ready for that because your life will change after they can move around like that. And when they start walking, that's super exciting. And then one of my favorite things is when they start saying words and saying phrases. I think these are really good when you finally hear their voice when they say sad things. My daughter is saying some different words right now, and when I hear her cut little voice, it definitely warms my heart. So I love seeing the development. No, this word development. I don't know how pronounce the word development, pronunciation, development pronunciation. Tá? And has someone who's in the language learning the words. It's really fascinating for me to watch my kids develop their language skill. My son is bilingual. He speak English and Spanish. He's going to the turn 4 years old next month. Ah, that's great. He's going to 4 years, 4 anos é bilíngue next month. At the time of refugees, it's really cool to watch him develop both languages simultaneously. Simu, I go there. Simultaneously. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Let's go. When people talk about learning language like a kid, oftentimes they don't really know the process of how this works, unless they are a parent who has had young children, but when you actually see the action, it's pretty interesting and you almost can't realize all the development that's happening because you are right there every day and you don't necessarily see every little improvement. But over time, it's really a place that they are learning, they are saying new things, and you don't even realize how this has happened. It's like, hey, how you suddenly talking so well? Hey, who, how no, who are, who, how, how much is, who the hell, the how was you suddenly talking so well? We did it is happy. It's really interesting because it's almost like the absorbing language and of course make a bunch of mistakes but eventually say things better, and you don't even know how it's happened in their parents. It's really cool when you realize that they are making progress, and for me, is extra interesting because I love a language in general. And I lost me. Yeah. And it's really fun to see, for example, my son try to conjugate words in Spanish, mean use the correct form of the verb for the particular subject, and sometimes they are irregular verbs, but he tries to conjugate the regularly. And it's interesting to see how his brain has developed the grammar because his brain is just trying to use the conjugation that is relevant for other verbs. But nobody taught him that conjugation. He didn't teach him how to use that verb in adding for that subject. He just pick up on that, mean he just learning it over time from observing in it and they doing it and they suddenly his brain knows the grammar intuitively. Let me write down the word intuitively again here. Intuitively, intuitively. It's super interesting. And a lot of the reels that he makes show the facts that he bring actually is pick up on grammar because the arrows. I don't know pronunciation. Arrows. Pronunciation. Uh, where he's trying to use the grammar that his brains know. But maybe there is some irregularity there or whatever. It's really cool, and so I love to watch his brain intuitively grasp different grammar elements and things like that. I love to watch his translate between English and Spanish, and sometimes I will see that he's saying a new phrase in English and he's actually translates that phrase from Spanish. And so he says it's working with the Spanish structure, but it's still really cool because I can see that his brain thought of the phrase in Spanish and they translate it to English, but it's a 3 year old. So it's really fascinating to see how he's developing his language skill. So I love seeing that development and seeing he started to understand the language more and understand other concepts, other subjects more. I love seeing my kids become more intelligent as time goes on and seeing the figure things out. It's a lot of fun as parents. Another thing that I would consider a big advantage of position regarding having young children is that they bring a sort of fitness or newness to your world. Newness. I don't know what is newness. 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 Mhm. Eu último feedback vai tudo a big shot of fitness or think you're free. Because they are discovering the world for the first time. And we adults take a lot of things for granted. You don't really think too much about them. We don't examine them and think of them as looking at them the same way a kid would. And what happens is when your kids start to discover the world and get excited about really basic things that we would consider basic or not too interesting. See, there, get excited about these things actually makes you excited about them. And it helps your discover your inner child, mean it's help you say think like you did when you were a kid. Certainly things that didn't excite me out before. I had a kids excited me now that I have kids, especially things in the natural world like animals and stuff just yesterday, there was this really interesting bug. It kind of looked like a grasshopper. That's not grasshopper, but a really tiny one. I have no idea what bug it was, and I saw it, and I got excited and showed my son, and he was super excited. And that's something that I just want to do or do not do back in the days before I had more kids. So things like that tends to excite me more now. I want to show that to my son when he sings and he gets excited. I say, oh, I want to see it's like I am a kid in a that scene again. So think this freeness, this newness, it's really great because as adults we get grow who's the really amazing things around us in this world. And that's not good. I think it's great to enjoy animals and plants and trees and gas and the little things that you take for granted. So that's a great thing. I love that I get to show my kids the world. I get to take their place and help to discover the world, introducing to them. These are really exciting as a parent when you take your kids to see something to the first time. Maybe you take them to the beach or you take the hiking. Hiking? I don't know hiking. What is hiking? Uh, hiking like I did recently, and you show the new things and introduce the to different elements, different animals, different whatever. Is as exciting as a parents. So I love that aspect of having young children. And my last point is that it's really cool to have young children because you get to have a major influence over there. Major I don't know, major over there. You get to be the whole model, like I mentioned before, and so of course you need to take this only seriously, but it's great to be able to be their teacher. They give the person who is a show the whole to do things what they should do, what they should not do. It's great to be able to be part of your windows or someone when you import. Something it's mean that you're giving in teaching into another person. So it's great to impart your wisdom or your children and be able to teach the valuable things, teach the things that are important to you, help them get knowledge, and you are a big influence of how they think and the ideas that they have and the values that they are going to have later in life, lot of later. Is really cool. Of course, you need to take this seriously and you need to understand that your kids are learning good things and bad things from you, so you have to be intentional about teaching them what you really want they learning, but it's great to be able to have influence. Have if you have not all the influence of the other people, it's good and you feel like listening to your whatever or young children will definitely look up to you. And you can teach it them and so the things and help them. Right there. It's great my opinion. It's make me try to be a better person because I know in the role model, I know that I'm teaching my kids a lot and they are learning from me. Whatever you're not want today to learning a certain behavior or a certain word or whatever, they are observing me and because of that, I feel the need to be the person that I want my kids to see and look up to so this helped me a better person. So there are plenty of other joys and blessing regarding or the blessing regarding have young children, but these are some that I want to mention today. I hope that you enjoy listening to the episode. I know it's a good question for you listening, but for some of you, you need to move on and start using my advanced podcast episodes so you can actually train it real English spoke fast. So please check those out. The links down below. And also check out my US Conversations podcast so you can start getting accustomed to listen to more than one person talking. I know you've probably had that experience we where where you are in a group of people you are listening to two people speak English and you have trouble follow the conversation. This is something that's difficult when it comes to learning a language, and that's why I made my US Conversations podcast to help you get accustomed to that. So if you want access to that links are down below. All right, thanks you so much for listening to the episode. I will talk to you on the next episode of Listening Time. Get my training and have an advanced episode. All right. Yeah, let's see. 44, 34, 34 minutes of speaking. That is people. Thank you for watching me speaking English. I don't speak in what? I don't speak my English is not very good. So don't laugh at me, okay? Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Next episode. Please. Ah, separar para ok.